Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris, man, and as always, I thank you for coming to my channel. And let me say this before I say anything else. If you hear any banging, I apologize. I have some workers upstairs working on my roof, so if you hear cling, cling, bang, bang, that's what's going on. But let me continue. Let me reintroduce you to my buddy. You know, it's been a while since Mr. Spencer has joined us, and welcome aboard and welcome back, Joe.
Good morning, everybody. How everybody doing?
Good. Okay, so we're going to touch on a topic that's kind of interesting because all my life I've been intrigued by mysteries. I mean, I wish that before I pass away, which I doubt that this is going to happen, that I truly know who killed John F. Kennedy, our president. But it's so many people that's claiming that task or that responsibility that it's kind of hard to believe, what actually happened or who actually did it, because I don't believe it was just one lone nut gunman. But anyway, that's another topic. But along the same lines as far as that topic is this one. Bigfoot, what do you think? Does this creature actually exist? And let me say this before I turn it over to Joe. If you would have asked me that question 20 years ago when I was perhaps in my 20s, I was like, nah, there's no big creature walking around the woods that a man can't find. And if there is, why haven't we found any dead Bigfoots, But as time progresses and I've gotten a little older and a little more, I guess, enriched with knowledge, I do entertain the idea that there is creatures out there that we just simply don't know about. Because I'm under the impression because we're man and we're supposed to be the most intelligent creatures, which I believe we are, and also the most destructive ones, that we know everything. And why can't we find these big, hairy Neanderthal cross between man and ape in the woods, But, we don't know everything. And, there's a possibility that there's some large creatures out there that live in the woods that we can't track down to find. But what are your thoughts, Joe?
Well, you have Bigfoot, you have the Yeti, you have Sasquatch. I don't know if that's a language thing.
Yeah, abominable snowman.
Abominable snowman. I don't know if that's like a tribal thing. People throughout the world call the Squashfoots or Bigfoot different names, or if it's the same creature or what. Mm-hmm. And I started hearing about this back in the 60s. And
because of the famous, if I can interject and you continue, the famous Patterson film. Yeah. That's what kind of started it all. Yeah. But continue.
And I've been interested in it. Who wouldn't be? Yeah. And down through the years, I forget about it. Then it'll come back. I forget about it. Come back, and then sometimes the news make just a news story out of it.
Yeah. And speaking of news stories, this is what angers me. For every legitimate shred of evidence or piece of evidence that people can find, there's 500 things that are bogus. Mm-hmm. It angers me that I turn on YouTube and I see all these phony pictures of animals in the woods. This is Bigfoot. And it's like, I wish I could line all those people up with a baseball bat and knock them out. Because I'm like, you're contaminating perhaps some legitimate evidence with this bogus, phony stuff.
Like I said, if I don't know. I figured if some great huntsman or great woodsman, if they haven't found it to make that $100 million off this story, the creature would have to be really, really slick.
Yeah. And I imagine he is really slick in his domain, because this is his domain. So he's lived perhaps in the woods for hundreds of centuries. So it's like these are apparently not super dumb creatures.
Well, Robert, we have satellites that break up the earth in grids and.
Yeah.
But
I don't think the government is really looking for them, because these are just basically organizations that are looking.
There are private concerns with satellites.
Yeah, but I would think that it would be nice if the government intervened, but the government stands on this doesn't exist. So we're not going to spend any money trying to go out there and look through the woods, and even if it does exist, it's like, leave them where they're supposed to be. But we have a tendency as humans, we want to oversee everything and then come in and take over.
Well, it's like Nessie, Lockwood Monster, whatever the name of the lake is.
Yeah.
And it's like Hercules. They try to dig up information that Hercules really existed. He might have. Or Samson. It's a big possibility this huge man existed and killed people with his bare hands, all that.
Yeah.
You don't know. To know the real truth, you have to be there to see it yourself.
I'm hoping at some point in time, and I probably won't experience this in my lifetime, that they might just eventually find a dead one. Because that's all it takes to kind of say, okay,
the bones or something.
This is legitimate now.
A
Because
tooth,
yeah, because I
something.
mean, we still dig up dinosaur bones,
Yeah.
and they've been gone for millions of years. So it's like, why can't we find these bones?
Well,
So
like you mentioned earlier, that, a lot of human beings, they take their dead and stash it away somewhere in a cave, and some races of people move their dead people, from different places.
Yeah.
Some people take their dead and let the buzzard eat the bones off the body. You don't know. Maybe the Bigfoot, when they have family dead and they feel it's time for us to move, they take their
a ritual
bones.
burial.
When they take the bones with them when they move.
Yeah.
That could be a possibility of that.
Yeah, I mean, apparently something's going on that we can't run across. Because, I mean, we find, unfortunately, hikers that have been missing for 5-10 years, we find their remains at some point in time. So why can't we find these animals' remains? And again, I'm hoping at some point in time that someone, because there has been people that claim they found bones, they found the real one, they found the live one, they got it captured in a cage nonsense, and all of those videos proved to be phony videos, So hopefully sometime that somebody gonna actually run across some bones that they can identify, and they say, hey,
and I hope
here's
it's me
your
or
proof.
you, because I'll get rich and I'll give you some money.
Oh yeah. Our name will
you
be
get rich
encased in history forever if we were able to do that.
I need some cash.
Yeah. But what do you think of the Patterson film? Because I'm sure you've seen the Patterson film in 1969. A guy was out there in the woods and he captured something on film that was not a human and was not an ape.
Well, I swear on the film, I thought that Bigfoot had a flap. You know how the flap is in long pajamas? I mean, long underwear. There's been a lot of.
Well, they've ridiculed that video. 'Cause, I mean, depending on who you talk to, because
I've seen it. I know what video
when they
you're talking
first showed it, they said that and they went to people that do this for a living, the best costume people in the world, and they said, we can't replicate anything like that, so it's not something that we did. Then there's some people like, I see the line on the side of the back.
I saw a flap.
Yeah, and then it's like, it's a man in a costume, and then some people say it's not a man because of the gait, And they put it in a computer, and it's like, this is not a man's gait, because you can't, I guess, disguise.
Damn good actor though.
You can't disguise who you are, what you are, and I don't think in the 60s they had the foresight to say, I'm going to try to walk like an ape because somebody down the line going to analyze this film and realize it's a dude in a costume.
That's what actors do. You can't act without the body thing. Like a couple of times you directed me and you said, well, don't do it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm quite sure if they had directors said, no, that's you walking too human. Make your arms go like a nigga.
So, it's kind of up in the air at this point still, because if I had to be, I guess, tackled for an answer, I would say that this creature exists. What do you?
Robert, I really don't know. I'd be.
But if you were forced to give a yes or no answer, because I know you don't know, but if you were forced, if you had to choose just between those two words, which one would you choose?
I don't think it exists.
Okay. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Bigfoot might exist and he might not. So, this is just our show, and we thought we'd do kind of a light-hearted kind of show today, and something entertaining,
But that's what they've been saying about Bigfoot and Yeti and all over the last 50 years.
Yeah,
it might not.
Yeah, then that's true.
It's an interesting subject.
It's a very interesting subject.
But I would like to see one.
I would like to see bones. I would like to.
I would like for them. The living thing. I
don't think I want to see the real one.
I want to know: is it a sentient being? Can you communicate with it? Does it have it? Can it play the flute?
Yeah.
This is what I want to know. Can he make a great work of art, or he just in the woods doing his thing?
In the woods doing his thing, perhaps. And I'm like, keep him in the woods doing his thing. I just want to know. I want verification that it exists, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't want to meet one. I don't want to see one. I just want to say, okay, we've been proven. The scientific community has proven that there's some creatures walking around that are bigger than us, and we better leave them alone.
Could you imagine the first European that saw a gorilla?
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine what he thought?
Yeah, and he was somewhere where he probably shouldn't have been in the first place. It's like, leave them be until they show up into your living room. That's when you need to be concerned. But on that note, we're going to sign off. And as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. And my
Joseph Spencer, right?
co-host, Joseph Spencer. So until next time, take care. Keep thinking.
Bye.